Good morning, Corey. Max here. How's everybody doing today? Happy Valentine's Day to each and every one of you. I'm sure you're probably working that out amongst yourselves. The It's sunny here, but really cold. It's only 24 degrees. And we're supposed to get snow starting about 11 or 12 o'clock and go until about 3 o'clock or so. Then overnight, we're going to get more snow. So winter is here. Let me get things ready here. Invite, copy, invite link. Okay. In the message. And let me go over and get rid of the emojis. Yeah, the emojis have been discontinued. Go back to live chat. Okay, there we go. So I think we're all set up, ready to rock and roll. If anybody shows, who knows? Um, we just have to play it by ear. I went out and I did another ship this morning. Really bright sunshine, cold as hell, but yes. And the Algo Nova, which is an Algoma Central tanker. And that's the first ship I've done since the last one was on the 8th of February. So this ship has been laying out in the anchorage out off of north, just south Lake Huron, and went downbound. It's headed for Nanticoke, which is down on Lake Erie. But I'll give you guys a quick preview if you'd like. I don't know if you would or not, but let me see if I can pull up. My whole screen is changed here. Used to be across the top, I'd have different things I could go and select, which I do have, but I don't have any way of going and down below the picture here on my screen. I used to be able to go to um, different channels. Uh, so I don't know. Anyway, I can't figure it out, I don't think. So anyway, what's everybody doing? It's Valentine's Day. I hope everybody's taking care of their sweeties. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys. Let me go to screen share. I found where I've got it. Screen share. Okay, here's the ship I just came back from doing. And I will advance our way through it a little bit. It's Algo Nova. It's a tanker that is operated by the Algoma Central Corporation, which used to be Algoma Central used to be just railroads, but way back when, but then they branched out into ships. Up along the side here. The Algo Nova. Mostly hauls fuel oil and that kind of thing, and gasoline or whatever. And it's passing under the blue water bridges. Heading into the St. Clair River. So we got 9 people watching. Not a record set, but hey, it is what it is. The we're going to be heading back into the depths of winter type temperatures and weather the next several days. We had a couple of days up in the 40s and 50s, and now it's doing a dive down. It's going to get really chilly and cold. Right, Mia? Yeah. Not a whole lot going on here in Port Huron, that's for sure. The winds are calm, but it's just not much going on. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing? Good friend Jonathan Jackson's here. Mark White's here. Max Ayers here. Corey Mono. And several other people are in the chat that we don't know. They're just kind of watching. listening and learning, I guess. But it is what it is. Where my desk sits, I've got windows here and an opening there that goes out into the deck room. And as you can see, I'm a little bit white out. I have a filter on my camera up here, but it's only a number 8, probably should be a 16. But it's still better than not having any filter on it. Yes, that's right, Mark. I would imagine a lot of people are making breakfast for their loved ones today. Uh, Very good point. The the drones are all flying well. I'm excited for you though, Jonathan. Jonathan is buying a new a splash, a like new splash drone, complete package. I think that's really good for you, Jonathan. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I would imagine everybody's doing their best to show the love and care that they have for the other important people in their families. And it's kind of like Mark said, I think that some people are out making Valentine's morning breakfast for their loved one. Yeah, you don't hear much about splash drones lately simply because it was so expensive and I don't, the characteristics, I'm not sure how good they were, but the reviews were good on them. And but they, the thing of it is anytime you change manufacturer, there's little nuances, little things about them that are a little different. It's like when I go from my DJI drones to my Autel Nano Plus, startup was a little different. The way it flies and the handles it a little bit different. It just, you have to be ready for different things. And it's a little bit touchy on the sticks, but it's a nice little drone. It's, especially the camera for low light is just fantastic. Oh, it's Ash Wednesday, that's right. No bacon or meat, or I get it. Hey, Rob, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, Rob. That's right, you did send it back, Rob. Maybe you could give us a little insights. Jonathan found a like new used one, the whole package, and he's going to get it next week. Got a really good buy on it with extra batteries and everything, and it's only been flown maybe 8 or 10 minutes at a time total time on the drone. It was a complete package that was sent out to Dan down in Florida. Actually, was sent to a friend of Dan's, I think, and for a review. And so then it was sitting. Dan came on yesterday and showed us, and it started to get a little dirty, a little dusty. He decided to pass it on. Hey, Corey, how you doing? Corey
Hey,
is
good yourself.
good. How are you?
Good, good, good.
What's going on in your neighborhood?
Oh, not much. Just the regular day
Cold?
today. I'm working. Yeah, not much.
Is it cold, cold?
We got a bit of snow. Well, not a bit, but just like a dusting. It is colder today, yeah, and we're expecting more snow coming.
Yeah, that's about the same forecast we got here. Hey, Lance, how you doing?
Good morning, Paul. How are you?
Lance is in his car. Are you headed for work or?
Headed for work.
Yep.
I was going to fly this morning, but I forgot to charge my batteries last night. And I only have one battery that has about 50%, so it's not worth stopping.
Yeah. Well, you know what I keep telling myself is when I come back, the smart controller. I have the DJI, the older DJI smart controller, and I keep watching that it seems to not hold the charge as long when I'm using it. And so the last couple of times I flew it, it was down to two light bars. And I flew this morning and it was down to two light bars. And I said, well, Paul, you dummy, you got to charge it up. When you go charge the battery, charge the controller too. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you got to do both.
It's the one bad thing about the Avata. You've got to charge about 25 different items, it seems like.
Do you like how the goggle batteries don't last very long?
Um, my goggle battery, I've got the goggles too. It seems to last okay, and I have two batteries, so I have them both. I try to charge them both. So
Yeah, because I
I haven't
have
run it.
the V2 goggles, and I use that for my FPV flying. And I have to constantly watch. Like I can't leave them on all the time, and because it won't last me the whole session. So
yeah, because he's Lance, he's racing. So, the goggles, he's out there in the field with the goggles on and
Gotcha.
you have to watch it because you sure don't want to take off with a low battery.
I've done that once before. Was it either the controller or the goggles? One of the two. I lost signal, and I was flying my 5-inch drone, and luckily, well, we have nets where we sit for our pilots.
Right?
It was coming right towards us, and then it just shut off and hit the net, almost right into us.
Right into the net. Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. I
Well,
think it was my controller shut off because I lost battery on it, but it was beeping at me. Okay, I have a little bit longer. Nope, just shut right off.
down and out.
Yeah. It's nice because we have what's called like a fail-safe mode. So if we lose link, the drone just automatically turns off. Like the motors just shut off.
Well,
Otherwise, it could be like a flyaway, right?
that could be good and could be bad depending upon where you are. You know, it's
Wow.
if it comes down and hits a hard surface and from like 50 feet or something, that wouldn't be good.
No, we had before where we have tents set up and we had someone that landed above. I don't know how high it was, but it went right through the tent and right on the table.
Oh,
Almost hit
really?
someone right in the head. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I think it went out of control and just like spun really up high and then came back down. Yeah.
What goes up must come down, right?
Yeah.
Rob says he had we were what I was saying was Jonathan is getting Dan is going to pass on to him a Swell Pro deluxe model, complete package with everything. And Rob, has that drone business where he does commercial work out of the UK, all over the world actually. And he returned his because why did you return it, Rob?
He's asking if the goggles too someone else can watch. I think with the FPV drone, yes.
I know that I've watched my buddies, but I think he had the Integra and I had the goggles too, and I was able to fly along with him. I think he, I don't know if he had the goggles too, and I had the goggles. He has both. He has the goggles too and the Integra, and I don't know which one he had on his head at the time. I'm thinking it was the Integra. So that's a good question. I don't know if you can go goggles two, or not. I thought I heard you could not, but who knows if they've updated that.
Yeah, there's so many compatibilities between them. Like I only fly the goggles V2, which is before, I guess it's the FPV. And depending what version you're on, you can watch someone else's feed. Um,
You just have to be on the same channel, right?
Yeah, you just got to be on the same channel. Yeah.
And with the goggles too, you just touch a button and it says, I don't know what the verbiage is, but it's something like you want to follow along with, and it's not even close to, I'm not even saying close to the right verbiage, but you just touch a button and you link right to his and away you go.
Yeah, Rob was asking Corey, can I fly with the goggles too and have someone watch on goggles which came with the DJI FPV drone?
Yeah, that's some of what we're saying. I'm pretty sure you can. Yeah. As long as they're compatible, right? Like you can't use the V1 goggles, but with the V2 you can, and the goggles too.
Yeah, I bet if you YouTube that, somebody might be able to have an answer to that. So I found my shipping, Paul. So actually, David found it, right? And then the seller sent me the same link, basically, and I was seeing the same thing that David had done research on.
Okay.
So it's leaving France now, or yesterday.
Okay, so it got tied up with international.
With customs, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I've never purchased anything that I can recall where it came around the world, other than like DJI.
Yeah.
So when you buy right direct from DJI, they'll ship it and they ship it out in a couple of days, and you get it within like 3 or 4 days. Corey put a link in there for everybody.
Yeah, it was for Rob. He was just looking at the antennas. Oh, sorry, that's the V1 I put. Where's the V2? Here it is. And that's the V2 for the antennas on the goggles, because there's 4 of them and each of them do slightly different.
Now, the controller, do you tune that to frequencies or does it auto tune to whatever frequency?
On the FPV stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only like certain protocols, right? So it automatically, you bind it and then it manages itself.
Okay.
But there's different types of controllers that the link anyways. There's like Crossfire, there's Express LRS, there's FR Sky, there's Spectrum. So depending which ones you got to match with your module on your drone. But all of them operate very similarly, where you bind them and then they manage their own frequencies. Some are in the 2.4 gigahertz, some are in the 900 megahertz, depending what system you're using.
Mark White says, here's his understanding. He thinks that if they're analog, as long as you tune the same channel, you'll see the signal, but he doesn't know if digital works the same way.
So as long as the digital is not encrypted to itself, like to the system, like for instance, we can't watch the Mavic video, right? Of someone else's, you can't, because it's encrypted to your controller.
Okay.
But on the FPV system, it's not. As long as you're using the same type of technology, like you can't watch the HD0, which is another HD system with the DJI goggles. They're not compatible. But if you have DJI and DJI, 2 different goggles, and they're on the same OcuSync for the FPV anyways, you can tune into each other. With the Astrex, if you're running in 25 megabit mode, on 50 megabit mode, I don't believe you can view someone else's. There's just too much bandwidth.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, the technology is changed too, where they can narrow in on bandwidths and all that kind of stuff. But I think it takes a while for the manufacturers to catch up with the technology, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of technology related to that yeah, has to be put in. Like digital is sort of new in like the FPV world. With the Mavics, there's like pretty big latency, right? So you wouldn't be able to fly that manually with on goggles on type of technology. It's not fast enough, right?
Yeah.
With the digital ones now, it has to be super fast. Like the latency has to be really low to be able to pilot it, at least for racing or at least going around anywhere with FPV. So right now it seems like, for the best quality and looking in the goggles, DJI seems to be pretty on par. Like they're pretty leading the pack. And then there's HD0, which is sort of more geared to like an open source HD. It's not quite as good quality, but that's what all the racers are using now because it's really low latency.
So most of the racers are using HD.
Well, a lot of they still run analog.
Okay.
But if they're doing HD, they're doing the HD0. I'm sort of an oddball. I still use the DJI FPV, the Vista ones, like the first generations. It seems to work pretty well for me. I haven't had any issues.
Now, is there any issues? Because I haven't got a clue. Any issues as far as not only latency but distance or obstacles blocking channels, depending upon which you're using? In other words, as far as like a digital frequency, do you have any signal loss versus regular HD or whatever?
They're fairly relatively the same, but with DJI, they sort of do like frequency hopping a little bit.
Okay.
So they seem to be able to penetrate a little bit more. But they each have their weaknesses. Like for instance, the DJI is good inside like a building and stuff like that. But if you go near trees or if you put a lot of trees in your way, they can't penetrate through that. But analog is better at penetrating through like trees and stuff.
Okay. Well, you guys don't do a lot of racing with trees around, right?
No, it's all an open field. But just for an example, yeah.
So
But hey, Justin.
Hey, Justin.
Where's Justin? He sucks.
He Justin sucks. What?
bite me, Lance.
Oh, hey, there he is.
All I came in to was Corey saying something about I'm good at penetrating. That was all I-
Penetration. Yeah.
that was literally all I heard when I came in. I was like, okay. You're talking about FPV, right?
Yeah, and the signal, yeah.
And the digital versus the analogs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Apparently that FPV that one that Jonathan's getting from Swell Pro, I think that is analog. Because when you turn the screen on that smart controller, it's like all fuzzy like an old TV. It does that kind of old TV thing when you turn it on
Oh yeah.
with like the snow.
Morning, Jonathan.
What's up, Jonathan? What you been up to, Corey?
Oh, not much, just usual. Working. Kids. About it.
Now, how old are your kids, Corey?
7 and 9.
Oh, that's the age, isn't it?
My youngest is 9. My oldest is 16. And I got
Yeah,
a
they're-
15-year-old.
They're a handful right now.
Are they both boys, Corey?
Girls. Both girls.
Oh. Well, you
Bro,
know,
girls get worse the older they get. I'm just gonna warn you now.
Seems
Well,
like my oldest is, yeah.
you know,
Oh, wait till
Justin was sick the other day and went to the hospital, and his wife brought him home a bunch of medication, and he started taking his daughter's birth control.
Yeah, I
pill.
heard
Yeah.
that.
I didn't take the birth control. I opened it up because I thought it was one of mine.
That's okay. Hey, everybody makes mistakes. You just move on, you know. If you take a birth control pill, you take birth control pill.
No, it was yeah, dude, I got so much fucking medicine from the last month. Oh god, every time I went to hospital, they were prescribing me to something different.
TJ, welcome, welcome.
What's up, TJ?
He's out flying this morning. So they must be having a Valentine's fly-in.
Yeah, today is Valentine's Day.
Yes, it is.
Do
What'd
you
you get?
guys celebrate that up there in Canada the same day, Corey?
Yep, yeah, it's today.
Okay.
So you gotta get some gifts for the kids and for Sarah.
Yeah, but we usually do, if there's something like this in the middle of the week, we usually do something on the weekend. 'Cause
Okay.
it's just easier.
Yeah.
Because during the week, it's just hectic with the kids going to school and all that, and work and everything. So did you end up getting up with Tim about that though? I forwarded what you sent me to him, Corey.
Yeah. He should be fine for whatever he has. Because that one does not take a lot of power, so it should be fine.
Well,
As
that's
long as
what
he
I,
has the right power connector, he's good. Yeah.
well, that was the one I was gonna get, and see, mine has where it has the 3 plug power connector, but it has 2 extension ones that you can add on to it.
Oh, the
Like if
6
you-
plus 2 to be 8?
Yeah,
That
like
the
if you get a
yeah.
bigger card, you can like you can add one at a time onto it to extend the power lead.
Yep.
And that's what I had to do when I went up to that 2060. I went from 3 to 4. So I had to add an extra one to it. But I told him as far as the compatibility, I know on my computer there was no issues with compatibility. So like
Yeah.
mine, I was gonna go with the 30 series, but I got such a good deal on that 2060. I just went with that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because it saved me like $300 from having to go get a 30 series. So I swear Tim told me he had a 700 watt power supply. I swear he told me that before.
I don't remember. Yeah. Huh.
Because he kept talking about he wanted to go to 1,000, and Sean and David were like, "You don't need 1,000 watt."
Yeah, no, not if you're not. Maybe if you go to like a 3090 and you fully load them with a bunch of stuff, hard drives and a bunch of LEDs and everything, maybe water cooling, all that stuff, maybe 1,000.
Yeah, that's a
But
little. I mean, if anything, that's kind of future proofing it, but at the same time, it's a little much.
yeah, who knows? Maybe like 5 years. Actually, they might be coming out with a new, like a motherboard power supply system. I think I was reading. So they have the power connectors on the motherboard. Those are changing. So the
What are
next
they?
generation of power supplies may be different.
What are they trying to lower the amount that you're using, or what? Like the power
Yeah, I
consumption?
think they're streamlining it to make it smaller.
Oh, that would be better.
But that what is it, 24 pins been around for forever? You know what I mean?
All right.
Hey, what's up, guy?
What's up, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
Well, I got good news. Loki
What's up?
started taking that pill.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, yesterday after I was getting ready to just give up on it, he came up to me and I gave it to him and he took it and he ate it. And this morning he just took another one. He took one last night. He likes it, so he's taking it. He hasn't had a seizure that I know of since yesterday. He's acted kind of funny last night a little bit. I woke up, Justin woke my ass up. I got up and looked down and he was acting kind of funny, like he was trying to go into one. So I lay down with him for a couple of minutes and he was fine. He laid there, let me rub his stomach, and he was good at that. He liked that idea.
Do you think is it an anxiety issue with him, or?
I think he just gets nervous or he gets excited. And years ago, like I said, years ago, he was about maybe 4 years old. They were playing with him and threw something and he ran into a wall. And he had seizures after that, So he probably had a little head injury.
Well, Joe said every time he got excited, that's when it would trigger. Like if he got
lately,
hyper.
and that wasn't all the time. That's just been in the last couple of weeks. Every time he gets excited, he has a seizure. So he's now with those hemp in him, those little tablets in him. Like yesterday, when he walks around right now, he's walking around a little lethargic. So it's calming him down a little bit. I can see it. He's looking around.
CBD and hemp oil. CBD and hemp oil and all that don't take that long to kick in. I mean, they're on the bottle. It says 2 weeks, but that's just if you're like keeping it and making sure you're giving it to them regularly and all that.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I give it to him first thing in the morning and then like around 6 at night or something like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It should take care of 2 issues that he's having, getting hyper and then helping with the seizures. Since you said you noticed it was that was what was triggering them, so that should help with both those issues.
And we're gonna find out. But he looks a little bit better. He isn't. He like I said, he's walking around and he's not looking like he did the last couple of days, but he does look a little like he's a little tired, like a little lethargic, like. So it could be the medicine just making him like that, which is good right now. If that's doing that, that might be calming him down enough.
Right, it's kind of slowing him down a little bit.
Yeah,
But
that's his third.
He should level off though after a while though and be okay.
It's only his third pill, and I just gave it to him. So like I said, last night I looked when I woke up, Justin, he woke up and he just wake up and go to the bathroom. You know, he wakes up and he go, did you turn my dryer up? I said, damn. I said, I was just going to sleep like that. And I said, you're going in there, go check. You know, and he goes, shut up. I said, go back to sleep. I said, I dare you to go to sleep. But I think you're gonna be all right. I just if that cuts the edge enough to make him not have a seizure, or at least calm him down to where he's not having them every 3 hours, that'd be good.
Now, did your son resolve his issues with the steroids and all of his problems?
He don't resolve shit, you know. But the doctor thinks that it was actually not to do with the steroids, and I did some research on it yesterday, and it's true, and I didn't even know it. But the medication he's taking for his for high blood pressure, probably because of the steroids, is you have to make sure you're hydrated. And he said that when he went in, one of the tests on the kidney said that he was dehydrated. And being dehydrated with that medication could cause chest pains. I gave y'all treats. Go away. So no, y'all already ate. Go. I don't want to go see that y'all made poop on the paper. Go. That's what they're telling me. They went on a paper. They're telling me, go look. You know, go. So I did some research, and actually, the medication I have does the same thing. If I'm
really?
dehydrated, it can give me chest pains. Now, I've never seen a doctor tell me that, but a doctor told him that. So it makes me wonder when I have chest pains if I'm a little dehydrated.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Well, do you drink a
don't know.
lot of water or?
I drink water all day, but I'll notice at times I'll look at my arm and it'll get a little wrinkle in it. And when it's getting that way, it means I'm not drinking enough. But I haven't pieced it together, so.
Are you diabetic or no?
I'm borderline, very borderline.
Because I know Sarah's dad, he was diabetic, man, and I know that causes you to drink a lot of water, man. Her dad was sucking down water all day long.
Good morning, Marie.
No, it's not because of that. I just drink water. You know, it's just me.
Yeah. Oh, he couldn't get enough, dude. He would just be cup after cup. Just all day
Yeah, I've
long.
never been that way. Yeah, I've never been that way.
What's up, Bill? How's it going, man? How'd your cabinets work out, Corey? Did you get the other set of them?
Yep, they're all set up in the back. You kind of see
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
those
yeah,
are
yeah.
nice.
there. Yeah,
What's up,
the
Marie?
one with the ding, we just whatever. We took a little bit. They gave us like a little bit of money back. You don't even notice it. It's in the back corner. I don't care. I'm not gonna go through the company. All that stuff's not worth it.
If they gave you a little money back as a
Yeah, I think they
sorry, I
gave
mean,
me
that's good.
20 or 30% back, so it was enough through
Yeah,
Amazon.
you can go on Amazon and buy yourself something.
I'm sure the wife did.
Ain't
Yeah.
bad. Said, oh, gift card. I didn't know we had that.
Yesterday I built that in the background. That's for my whoops, like a tower.
I thought that was a ladder. I was like, what the hell is that?
Well, it is a
Is it
ladder,
just
but it's
made
for
out of-
racing skates. Yeah,
Was it made out of PVC?
PVC. Yeah.
So, yeah. Just for you practicing down there or what?
Yeah.
What do you do, like where you flip up them like a ladder?
Well,
where
you could do a couple things. You can actually ride them like a ladder, like go down and up like that around it, or you can go
Right.
through it around different things, or yeah. You can kind of do like a split S through them, or you can just go through them the same way. The only thing I'm missing, I just got to add some LEDs to it.
Bill, he said happy Valentine's Day to all the women. I mean, happy extortion day. Uh, that's funny.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what it is.
printing anything
Extortion
today?
day.
Well, you don't have to buy anything for anybody, Joe. Maybe the
I
hot
made all
neighbor,
them.
but
I made all them roses. I got one for my granddaughter and my daughter. When I see them, I'm gonna tell her, come over a minute, I got something for you. I got the rose, and I got the little rose teddy bear for the girl. So
that was the same one that Mike printed too, huh?
yeah, I want that. I printed it. I wanted to see how long. Like I said, I made the little roses with the vase. I gave my daughter-in-law one yesterday when she came over because I'm not gonna see her today. And my son said, I might have to get me a 3D printer. It might save me money with her. Like they don't watch this stream, so I could say it. Let me get the picture and show you. I never showed y'all this picture yet. But he's gonna knock her socks off Sunday when they get married again. Because the ring she's got right now, he bought on Amazon, and it was an engagement ring type of thing. It's a fake diamond, and I think the thing cost him $150, right? And she absolutely loves it. And that's the ring she knows she has, right? So he bought her. You keep walking, I'm gonna pull the top up. Go. So he bought her a ring that she don't know about yet. Let me find the picture.
Wasted all that money, Joe. You could have printed her one.
Yeah, wait till you see this one.
Oh, it's pretty
You could do a
nice.
better job than that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, list price. Ready for this? $4,800.
Oh, dude, I went into this jewelry store one time about 7 or 8 years ago, and I wanted to buy Sarah a new ring. And I found one that I really liked, and I was looking at it. I was like, "Oh, how much is that?" When the guy was like, "Oh, that's only 12,000." I was like, "Nope."
Well, yeah,
I ain't got 12 grand. I was like,
But-
"That's way too much."
but she has no clue. And I know, and my son knows, and my ex-wife knows, like that. But what he did, he went in there looking at it just out of the blue about 2 weeks ago, and it's on the base. One of the jewelers on base over at Campbell's June. He went down to Campbell's June and looked at it, and they said, "Yeah, it's on sale." It was listed at 4,800. It was on sale for 2,200. And he said, "Well, now he's got money. He could have just paid for it." And they said we could do I can't remember how many payments. It's like $65 a month, no interest, like that. And he goes, and when it was all said and done with the insurance on it and everything, it came out to like 2,600. So he bought it and got it sized, and he carried it on a plane in his pocket with his hand on it the whole way. And it's here, and
Now,
I'm gonna be.
when is the second ceremony?
It's Sunday at 2:00.
This Sunday.
So at Sunday at 5:00, we got to be out. I got to be out there for 3:00 because they're doing things completely backwards. They're actually going to take all the pictures before the wedding, which is good and bad. I've done that before when I've had to do it.
That's what we did for our
wedding.
wedding. Yeah, it's all the pictures before.
Yeah, so we're going to do all the pictures before the ceremony. And I'm bringing my camera, but I'm not shooting pictures because they hired a photographer, And only thing I'm doing is I'm carrying my Action 2, and I'm gonna be sitting right in front. So I'm gonna do the video that way when she gets the ring, I want to see that expression. Because she's gonna say when he turns around and gets the ring, she's not gonna see it till it's right there. And when she looks down and sees the ring going on her finger, she's going to probably start crying, and she's probably going to say, "What's this, Nick?" Like that. You know, and I
been
want
doing
that on
quite
video
a-
if I can get it.
I've been doing quite a few weddings where they put like I always thought it was really cool. They'll put like 1 or 2 disposable cameras on each table, and then
Yeah.
people can pick it up and take pictures, just random pictures, and they leave them, and then the groom and the bride will take them later on and develop them.
Well, I'm gonna be in a tux, and I told him, I said, well, I'm in a tux. I ought to have my camera to take pictures too, you know. 'Cause that's what I used to do when I shot every wedding I shot. When I did photography with weddings, I was in a tuxedo.
Bro, don't spend the whole time critiquing the photographer. Enjoy yourself.
Oh, I'm not gonna say a word. All I need, I needed. I told him, I said, I'm bringing my camera because I need to take 4 pictures of y'all. I'm gonna take a picture of them in the beginning when they, because he's gonna be. Oh, the other thing, and I've been on his ass all about this because he's got his tux and everything for the wedding. And I said, you're a freaking Marine lieutenant. Wear your dress blues like this. That's what you need to be wearing. Your dress blues for the wedding. And he looked
My
at me last night.
PC's nowhere.
He said he's wearing his dress blues.
Bill, my
So he's got his
PC's
blues
nowhere
with the
near
white
me.
pants.
It's way
But it's
down
gonna be
there on the
pretty
other
cool.
side of the desk.
Hey, Mark White asked a question.
I'm not looking at chapel.
He said, is it just going to be a marriage blessing service? Because isn't it illegal to actually get married twice?
I couldn't tell you.
Yes.
Probably going to be a blessing type of thing.
Yeah.
No. You can if you're so if you're
I think
already
you can get
married,
twice.
it's not technically a marriage. It's just it's a wedding, but you don't do the paperwork because you're already
Paperwork.
married. It's just it's like redoing your vows. Like
Yeah, it's just it's a
you don't
it-
really file paperwork. You're
it's
just
a
redoing
repeat.
your wedding.
it's
Yeah.
a
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's illegal to get married to 2 different women for sure.
Now he'll be married in 2 different states. I can tell you that
Yeah,
much,
if he
'cause got married
files,
in
if he,
Florida first.
well, if he filed paperwork, technically he would be married in 2 states. But yeah, he's having 2 marriage ceremonies in 2 different states. It's just a ceremony, not actual a legal thing.
No, I knew somebody. See, I knew somebody when I was in the Marine Corps that he was in. It was like 10 years that he was in, and he was married for like 7 years. And I think he said he was married 7 different places to the same woman. And every time they went somewhere, they got married there. So they'd have a trail of where they were, like the history, you know. And they were going to do that
No.
every duty station, get married.
Bill, it's about 5 feet from me over here, but the air conditioning unit's in the window right behind me, and that filters everything.
So Mardi Gras went off without a hitch yesterday. I mean, the crime was actually down this year during Mardi Gras. They had only 3 shootings in the very beginning of Mardi Gras on the parade routes. And then Mardi Gras ends last night. Everything calms down last night, and they have a big shootout down by Bourbon Street.
I was gonna say I thought it was over last night, and so now they could do all the cleanup, right?
Well, they did. It's clean. It's been clean from about 3 o'clock this morning, because they go through at midnight, the police and everything, and they move you off the street of Bourbon Street, and all the street cleaners come in
Well, you
behind.
know, one
and
of the
crews come in.
cameras, yeah, I thought it was kind of funny, was people were walking down the sidewalk, you know, they had the overhead was whatever, you know,
Right.
and there was somebody laying on the sidewalk, and they just walked by and nobody give it another look.
Oh yeah, that's New Orleans. that's Mardi Gras. He's loaded. Leave him alone. You know. Now they had an incident a few years ago. It wasn't Mardi Gras. It was LSU played Alabama, and there was a guy that got really loaded in one of the restaurants, and it was like a Crystal Burger. I think it was a Crystal Burger on. Now you take it. It was like a Crystal Burger on Bourbon Street, and one of the Alabama fans went in there and it was messing with him while he was asleep and teabagged him. You know, so they teabagged him on camera and then stuck the thing on YouTube. And they found out who the Alabama fan was, the New Orleans police. And they went to Alabama. He was a minister's son. They teabagged the guy, and they wound up arresting him and everything for sexual assault and all kind of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. And all the Alabama fans were laughing about it when it was happening. So there was about 3 people there that had pictures. Their pictures were involved with the video. Everybody got arrested. But the parties are over. Mardi Gras is over. But this weekend they have a couple of more parades that are to do with different, like it's pet parades basically. They have one here in Mandeville, one in Covington, the crew of Barkers, and another one I can't remember what the other one's called. And then they have their parades always a week after Mardi Gras. And then in a couple of weeks, you got St. Patrick's Day coming in. You got the St. Patrick's Parade in New Orleans. That sucker is as big as Mardi Gras. Then you have the one out in St. Bernard Parish. That's as big as Mardi Gras the next week. Then you have the one in Metairie, the Italian American. That's as big as Mardi Gras. So you still have about 5 more weeks of parades coming. You know, weekends of parades coming, and those are I like going to those because you bring a rolling ice chest with you because they throw food, and you'll get cabbage, you'll get potatoes, you'll get carrots because they do it for all the Irish parades. Since you go home and then you make your food,
Make your
know?
stew. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I used to go out there and like I said, I got a little rolling ice chest, and that sucker, you fill it up fast, and then you just stop catching stuff. You know, it was a blast. And we'd come home and have 15, 16 cabbages, you know, hand them out to neighbors. Hey, we went to the parade, you know. But that's a fun parade. And then all the groups go out there, the same groups from Mardi Gras. And you got all it's mostly marching groups. You get all the girls in their little slinky outfits that have the roses that have to give you a kiss for a rose. You know, since COVID, nobody does that anymore. They can do it on a cheat now, you know, but it's fun. I like the New Orleans ones in particular because since I got press credentials and the parade route is it's still on St. Charles Avenue, I get to pull up on there with my vehicle because I put my press stuff on my car, and then I just pull up next to the police. You just leave it right next to a police car because there's nothing going on right there. Then I just walk right like 20 feet, take the pictures, walk back to my car and leave, you know. You get the privileges that time a little more. Yeah, they won't let me do that during Mardi Gras. No, Mardi Gras can't walk like they do. But because they can't walk on the neutral ground because it's always full. But it'll be 1/3 the people out there. So they don't care. I just pull up right there. As long as I've got my thing that says press on it, they don't touch me. But that's fun day because it's a safer day, and especially if it's in March and it's always around. It's always St. Patrick's always within the week of March 17th. So if we have a 70, 80 degree day or 65 to 80 degree day, all the girls out there in their little one pieces and slinkies, and they're out there trying to get their roses from the guys, and there's a lot of skin. Yeah. So it's fun. It's fun to go shoot those.
Joe, do you know, do they do a lot of weddings this time of year?
You know, people used to say, well, with springtime weddings, right? When I was doing weddings, it's year round. It's
okay.
I don't think you do any more because you gotta think of something. You only have so many venues. Only so many venues. So you can only have so many weddings at these venues. And these venues are full all year on, all long, you know. They have like on weekends, they might have one in the morning, one at night. Same thing in the spring, same thing in the summer. They're gonna have one in the morning, one at night, you know. So it's like I don't think you have any more weddings in one point of the year than others. I think the 2 times that you have the most weddings would be in around Christmas time and in the early spring. I think that'll be the time you have it. And around Christmas time, a lot of people want Christmas weddings because of all the decorations. Because all these places put the decorations up, and you don't have to worry about getting decorations the way you want them. But I used to do them year round, and it was like, and I could remember doing in the middle of the summer doing 3 on one day. You know, it was like, because I was in a tux for all 3 of them, and by the end of the night, I wanted to peel that tux off because I had been sweating all day. You know. They finally got the hint and shut up walking.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they were trying to go eat their own dish. They got food. Hey, Paul, last month I put out, like I said, I think 3 videos, right? But I put out shorts every day, though 3 shorts I do every day. So we're on the 14th of the month, and I've got videos either put out already this month or scheduled to come out this month, 17th.
Really?
So I've been flying a little bit more. And it's
Well,
going to be a beautiful,
Lance has been trying to do some more flying too.
yeah, today's a beautiful day. It's going to be like 65 degrees. Sun is shining beautiful. Ain't going to take long. I'm going to be out there.
Yeah, but don't you and Johnny go out and fly like a lot?
Well,
You guys seem to always be out doing something.
We try to fly right now once a week. If I call him today, it's Valentine's Day. He's got all of the kids out of school, so he's celebrating with all his granddaughters. You know, so I may call him and say, "Hey, where you going? What you want to do later?" He might want to go out. But I think what I want to do today, I might go to Slidell and try to catch a couple of trains.
Is Johnny married?
No,
I didn't think so.
his girlfriend,
Never heard of
Justine.
Justine is his girlfriend? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Justine, the girl that does all the stuff on YouTube. That's what he says all the time. He said, "That's my girlfriend."
I don't know who that is.
I told him one time, he said, "Yeah, my girlfriend, Justine, she's pretty hot." And I said, "Wait a minute, she's cheating on me?" I said, "I didn't know she was cheating on me. I suspect it, but let me
That's
tell you
the
about
name of her
Johnny."
channel?
Yeah, Justine. Let me tell you about Johnny.
I don't know who
My
that is.
ex-wife used to work at Winn-Dixie, a little grocery store here, right? And I used to, and this is a grocery store they closed up about maybe 10 years ago. They just eliminated that one area, that one store, right? They're still here. Johnny was in charge of Johnny was in charge of the fresh food department or something like this. So Johnny was in there all the time when I was in there. And I told him, I said, "You've always looked for me." And I told him who my wife was. He says, "Yeah." He said, "I've met you before." So I knew Johnny 10 years ago. You know, that's the ironic part about the whole thing. I had met him 10 years ago. You know? And it's
Bill
crazy.
trying to suck up to Corey.
Yeah.
That is true, Corey. I mean, Bill.
I'm definitely quiet sometimes, yes.
Bill's trying to get free computer advice.
Oh, I mean,
Which is quite funny because you think Corey would have like this badass, like just decked out gaming PC. Nope.
Nope, I just have a laptop.
He's like, nope, just got a Chromebook. That's it.
Yeah.
Apple iPad.
It's all right. It has a 4060 and like Was it like a 13th gen i7?
Oh, that's not bad, though.
Yeah, it says breaking news. Triple shooting on Canal and Royal injures three
Oh,
women
Bill.
and 2 men last night. That was after the parades were over. That's another one.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
not the one I was talking about. So there were 2 shootings last night. One was on Broad in Broad and Esplanade area, and one was on Canal right there by Bourbon Street. That's the one I heard. So there were actually 2 shootings last night after the parade. So parade's over. Let's go back to a war. Oh, Justin last night. He worked the parade. He didn't drive. He wound up working the parade. And then they went over to that big block party they have. And he told me, he said, dude, he said, we were standing there and he said, a girl came up to him and said, you the guy last year that was dancing and was talking to him, right? So he's talking to her and he says, out the corner of his eye, he sees people just take off running. And he said, he turned and looked and he said, let's go like this. And they went running that way. And he said he was running that way and there's usually guns involved. So he said he had his gun out. He's got his gun here running. And he said he's just running. And all of a sudden the girl runs in front of him. And he said he smoked her, just completely smoked her, took her out, right? And she's on the ground and he just keeps running. It was 2 girls fighting. That's what it was. They had to break up. So they all running out there with their guns out because they figured they're going to be a shooting again. So they stop all this. Come to find out the girl he runs over is 4 months pregnant.
Ah,
Oh, God.
Yeah, so he runs over this girl that's 4 months pregnant. So she had to go to the hospital and get checked out and everything. And he said he didn't even see her. And she said, and she told them, yeah, I was running, I didn't see you like that. So it was kind of good that she said that, you know. But he said, and they said it looked like it was Ray Lewis tackle the way he took her out.
Huh.
So
Hopefully
he said
she's all right.
he said he just ran right through him, you know. But he
As
said,
funny
oh,
as that
yeah, he
is,
said,
I
I'm
hope
running
she's
with my
okay.
gun up here like this, and I run right through him, you know.
She didn't have any injuries at all?
No, she was fine. They checked her out the hospital, said everything
Fucking
was fine.
Bill.
But he said he felt so bad about it. He said, I'm so sorry I run over you like that. He said, I didn't see you. She said, well, I didn't see you. You know, she says, I was running the other way. I didn't see you. But everybody started running because every time they start a fight over there, they got guns, you know? So they were out there with the ARs and everything else to make sure nothing happened last night. He said, and then when that fight started, they said, that's it. Block party's over. That's it. You know? So they cleared everybody. And then he told the girl that was talking to him before, I don't know where you got to go, but you got to go home. She goes, I don't want to go home. You want to take me home? He goes, no, go away. Go home. You know? She said, I'll go home with you. No, go.
Oh, yeah, you got to love those badge bunnies.
Yeah,
And your
he got
son's a
he's got
young one, too, so I'm sure he gets a lot of those.
no, he's got a girlfriend right now, and if he screws that one up, I'm gonna slap him.
Well, I'm
This
just saying
girlfriend
in
he's got
general,
right
he's
now
a
is
young,
absolutely wonderful.
decent-looking officer.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure he gets a lot of badge bunnies hitting on him.
Yeah, and he looks just like me, you know, so you know he looks good.
I wouldn't go that far, Joe.
Hey, I look better than him at his age.
A middle finger today?
Yeah. I don't need a middle finger for that one because that's the truth.
Hey, gents, I've got a meeting I've got to attend. I will talk with you guys later.
Okay, all right, Lance.
Later, Lance.
All right, Lance, we'll see you later.
see ya. And on that note, I gotta head out too. I have a meeting too soon. So
All
talk
right.
later, everyone.
Hey,
Have a
See you
Corey,
later, Corey.
thanks for
Later,
being
Corey.
here.
Yep.
A better name was Taylor. She would have been Swift. Well, that would have happened. Fucking Bill.
It's funny. That is funny. You got a point though.
The game go good last night, though? Basketball game?
Oh, that's another thing. God darn it. I am so mad at coach. I mean, I was ready. I almost slapped his ass last night. He got me so mad at him. I get there early enough to do both games. Games went good. They won both games. Destroyed him in a JV game. Actually destroyed him at the end of the last game. But we get there, none of the posters that I made are put up for senior night. None of the posters are put up. And I look over and one of the moms, I said, why aren't the posters up? She goes, yeah, tell me about it. And she's mad, right? Because her son's a senior. And she goes, yeah, he said he's just going to hand them the posters. He's not going to hang them. If you want to hang them, we'll hang them tomorrow. Like that. And I said, well, that's not right. You know, they're supposed to be up the whole season for the seniors. So she says, yeah, we can't find the 8x10 you brought on Friday. He said he can't find it. For Nate, I said, it's in the office. Well, he said he couldn't find it in the office. I said, it's in his box in the office. It says Priola, you know? So he said, yeah, I'm going to go look for it. But he didn't go. So they wound up, one of the parents had another picture, put it in the frame for him. So Nate didn't get his picture. Then the basketballs, it says senior night and all the stuff on there. He didn't order on time. They didn't make it in. So nothing came in on time. So it was like a half-ass ceremony last night. And then the best part about it, he pissed me off because he comes over with, he always takes a picture, the parents first, then he comes in the picture. So he comes in the picture with the poster and he picks the poster up like this over him. And I said to him, bring it down so I can see you. He brings it down, throws it to the side, and then he takes pictures without the posters later. Because they were pissed off and gave him shit, so he gave everybody else shit. That's what it was. But it was like, and then the best part of the night, right at half in the end of the JV game, there's 2.8 seconds left. They're inbounding the ball, and the other team's inbounding the ball, so it's gonna be on that side of the court, right? So I'm sitting there with my camera, and one of the girls she's been out there a few times. She asked me, she says, you're not afraid they're going to run into you or you get hit by the ball? I said, doing it so long, it doesn't bother me at all like that, right? I said, I get hit every once in a while, but not hard, you know? And a couple of times the ball got close to her and she cringes and all of this, right? And I'm laughing. I said, just calm down. You're going to get yourself hurt, you know? So I'm sitting there, 2.8 seconds left. Mandeville steals the freaking ball, and I didn't see it because I looked at it as an inbounder. I go up to take the picture of the score. So I've got the break in the quarter. And as I take the picture of the score, I hear, bam! Like I feel something touch my arm right here. And there's explosion, like, bam! And I bring the camera down, I go, and the ball's bouncing. The guy grabs the ball and throws it full court, and it brushes my arm right here and hits the side right next to me. And I didn't flinch. It was like, bam, and I went. And I looked down at it. And she looked over at me. She goes, oh, my God, like this. I went. And she goes, you didn't even flinch. And I'm standing there, and this little kid comes right up to me and goes, man, you didn't even flinch, did you? Like that. And everybody in the stands went, oh, because they thought I was getting hits directly on, right? I didn't even see the ball coming. I didn't even see it coming because I was looking the other way. And when that ball hit right there, it was funny because it's just me. It doesn't sound like that doesn't bother me. And it was like, bam, and I went. They said the camera didn't move. You still shot your picture. No, you still shot your picture and everything. And one of the guys said, he said, man, that would have hit next to me. I'd have jumped. I said, well, 14 years in the Marine, I've seen worse. You know, said I've had worse happen. But everybody, that was the talk of the night, how that guy and the guy come up to me and said, man, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. I said, we're good, you know. He said, I thought I took you out. He said, then it hits and you don't even move. You know, and then I had two other balls come by me last night like that. And again, as they hit, I didn't move. They told me, they said, you must have ice in your veins, you know. But I tell you what, that could have been really bad. If it was 6 inches over my side, it would took me and the camera out.
Yeah,
And that was
would
my
be-
mistake. That was my mistake for not watching the whole play.
Now you said your cameras are insured though if they get fucked up, right?
Oh yeah, but that would have, being against my face, it probably would have cut me open and everything. You know, it was, I mean, a lot of people came up to me afterwards and said, "Man, that was close." I said, "Yeah, it gets close like that." Then
Well, I
had
mean,
one of
you're
the
doing
guys.
that enough, you're bound to have close calls like that or
Oh,
get
yeah.
hit at some point. I mean, it's just gonna happen.
Then I had one of the guys for the other team try to block a shot and wind up backwards, coming into me backwards. And he was trying to stop it. I knew he couldn't stop. So it was like, put your hand up, right? Just to stop him. And I didn't mean to do it like I did, but I had my hand in the back between his cheeks pushing him.
What's up,
That was the
Mendez? I
level we
ain't
were
seen
at.
you in a minute, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah, my hand was all in between those cheeks, pushing him back. And I didn't mean to
Oh,
do it that way.
Mendez, I'm gonna type in the chat. That's my newer channel. I don't know if you've ever been to it or not, but Infinity Gaming, if you want to go over there, because we still do the live shows every Friday night. Just click on my name and go to channel if you want to. Because I don't know if he's been to my channel since I started doing gaming.
Hey, Mendez.
I still have his shirt. Still wear it all the time. It's a comfortable shirt. Yeah, me and Tim still do our live show. We ended up taking Matt's time slot on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Because Matt quit doing live shows about 4
Well,
weeks
that's
ago.
because
It's
he
been
got to be big time.
Yeah, but if that was the case, though, he'd still be doing them because then he'd be Joe Rogan, right?
Well, he told me that he doesn't need to swim with the little ones in the pond.
Oh yeah,
Hey, you don't want
whatever.
to mess with your little channel, Justin.
That's what he said.
This was my second big channel. He can bite me. No, my drone channel got up to like 2,000 and some change. It was like almost three. It was at 3,000 at one point, and then it dropped down a couple hundred. But then it just didn't do really anything after that. So, like I said, I'm kind of glad I lost that channel because then this one has been a lot more successful. So,
I'm at 1714 right now.
I never even got close to monetization on my old channel. Like I only had like 1,700 hours in a whole year, where now I'm doing, I can get 4,000 hours in 4 months easy. I can do that in about 3 months. I've already got my whole year's worth of watch time. I don't have to worry about it. The rest of the year, it just adds up.
I had a guy comment on my shorts, one of my shorts. You
There
play
he
the
is. How's it
same
going?
song on all of them. Change it.
No, I told you that I noticed you use
Yeah.
the same two, but there's a lot of people that do that. I've seen channels that just do shorts and they use the same song every short.
I put
Hey,
on there
Marianne, how you doing?
the reply I gave him was, "I see you watch a lot. Thanks."
Yeah, I see that one song that you use a lot is push it, push it, push it.
So guess what? Guess what? It's on TV right now. It says new category for storms. They're changing the category for the storms, hurricanes. We now have a category 6. Wind stronger than 192 miles per hour.
Oh,
We
wow.
need to know that. So we've had 5 storms hit 195. And
Mendez.
so that's gonna be fun. So category 6. I've been in the category 5 3 times. And guess
So
what?
yeah, the strongest
It's
I've been in
not
is a
fun.
3. The strongest I've been in is a 3. The 2 that I've been in, they were both 3s. And one of them was a 4, but then when it hit land, it went down to a 3 really quick. That was the one a few years ago that went right up the middle of Florida. Remember, it
Yeah.
came up through the tip and then went straight up
Yeah, I
through
remember that.
Florida. That
But
one
you
was
know
a
what's
3 by
bad?
the time it hit me.
A five is bad enough, but two of the fives that I've been in, one has been in Hawaii on an island, and one was in Japan, Okinawa.
Yeah, I've
And
never
that
been in a.
was terrible.
Wait, hold on. You were in Katrina, wasn't that a 5?
But I wasn't here. I was
Oh,
outside
okay.
of Katrina. That was my other one.
Okay. All right. I was gonna
But
say because Katrina, I know was a
it
5.
hit, but it didn't hit me direct, you know. But that was the other one that I was here and I saw what Katrina did because like I said, I went and did pictures and I was in the boat in St. Bernard Parish, and we're in 14 feet of water, and we're getting to some places where the water's only about 7 feet,
Uh-huh.
and this was nighttime. This was daybreak, and we're in these boats. And I'm shooting for the paper, shooting pictures, and daybreak comes up and it's starting to get better and because they wouldn't let you in the first day. We couldn't get in the first day. Second day we get in, and as we coming into it the second day, the water's kind of clear, you know, so you can see down into the water. And we're in
Right.
areas that's about 7 feet of water, and nobody noticed it. All of a sudden, I'm looking down and I went, "Stop a second, stop a second." It doesn't because it was just like 8 of us in a boat. They slowed the boat down. I said, "Y'all look in the water." We looked down in the water, and there were automobiles submerged in the water and people in it, in the automobiles that had drowned. And we saw 10, 11 cars like that, people just floating inside the cars on the inside.
Like my thing is like I've never been in a 5, but it's just a matter of when, not if it's gonna
Yeah.
happen. If I'm here long enough, it's gonna happen at some point.
Yeah, I saw so
Right.
many places that we were shooting pictures, and it's just bodies laying there, you know. There were bodies everywhere. You could smell death, the whole place.
Yeah, dude, Katrina was really, really bad. That was a
It was,
horrible hurricane.
and and I was coming down Old Spanish Trail because you could drive into the back area through Old Spanish Trail. It was all able to drive. In fact, I went out where my sister had a house and only found the pilings where her camp was. So all we found, it was everything was gone. So I took pictures for insurance and that, and came back, and they had one house that said no looting, we shoot, like this. And I stopped, got out the car to take pictures of this. And all of a sudden, this car comes out of nowhere down the road. Woman jumps out the car in front of me, holding her 38 special in my face, telling me, "Get out of the house, quit stealing from me," and all of this. And I'm standing there with my camera in my hand, with my press credentials on. And she looks at me and she says, if you go in my house, I'm gonna shoot you, like this. I said, "Darling, listen to me. Look at what I got on. I'm taking pictures. I'm not doing anything at your house. You need to back up real quick before I get pissed off enough to get my gun out, and I will shoot back," like that to her. And she's all
Right.
yelling and screaming. I put my hand down. I picked my gun out like this. I said, "You got about a second." I said, "Then I'm gonna just shoot you in your knee." Like that, like that. She looked at me. She said, "Don't go in my house." I said, "I'm not going in your house." She got back in the car and drove off, you know. I said, "But I'm about to shoot you in your knee." It got me so mad. But she was 8 inches from me with the gun in my face, you know. I said, "I'm
Right.
about to shoot you in your knee." You know,
Yeah,
and
like
then
I said,
about
oh, go ahead.
I said about a week later, I'm down in the Ninth Ward, and I'm driving, and this guy walks out of this dilapidated house that was all in pieces and shoots my back window out. I said, "You got to be kidding me." The bullet went through my back window, and then a woman driving by with a baby in the car, he shot at her. It went through and hit next to where the baby was. And I got out the car and I got on my phone and called the police. And he ran back, and as he started to run back in the house, I pulled off 3 rounds at him because that's the second shot. I said, "That's it." So I pulled off 3 rounds, and he went back in the house because he was running back in. I didn't know if I hit him or not, you know, because I was hit close. And I called it in, and I said, I'm the guy. I work for NOLA.com. I said, "Hey, I press NOLA." And I said, "I'm the guy. I got a white exterior with a shot out back window. There's a woman down the street. I don't know if the baby got hit." And I said, "But if he comes out the house, I'm gonna kill him," like that. I said, "I'm out in the middle of the street, and I'm locked down on the front of the house." There are like 14 police cars come running up, And they come over to me and they said, "You all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm all right." And I put my gun away. They didn't say nothing to me. They went and searched the
No.
house, went after, they couldn't find him. Couldn't find the
Now
guy.
this was during Katrina,
This was about a
right
week after
after.
Katrina. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when they made such a big deal because remember when they dispatched Blackwater in there?
Yeah.
And that was the private military Blackwater out of North Carolina. I remember they made a big ass deal
Yep.
about those guys being there.
Yeah. And one of the police officers that showed up was a lieutenant that I knew. He looked over and he says, "Oh, Joe, you all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." I said, "Got a back window shot out." And if I wouldn't have had all the crap I had in my car because of Katrina, it probably would have came through the seat and been close to me. And I said, "Yeah." I gave him the description of the guy. I said, as he took his second shot at the other car, I said, I've discharged 3 rounds, like that. So they wrote all the report up and that they picked up my casings and stuff off the ground and it kept them,
Did they
and
get the guy?
they searched that house. They had teams come in. They couldn't find him. So don't know where he went, or he was still hiding underneath something in the house. They couldn't find him. They put a dog
I
in there, couldn't
know
find him.
Florida's gotten really good the past like 6, 7 years at emergency response. They've been, as far as after a disaster, like disaster relief, they've gotten really good at response now. They've really
Yeah,
stepped up
and
the game here.
they didn't see any blood anywhere, but they only found, like I said, I shot 3 rounds into it. They found 2 right at the door jamb, and the other one had to have gone in the house behind him, but they couldn't find out where it went. They didn't think he got hit because they couldn't find any blood. But they said there's always a possibility he got hit.
Because there was that one bridge that got damaged down here during the last hurricane. I can't remember what city it was, but it was like the only bridge to get in there. And they had it back up and running within a week. They had completely rebuilt the part of the bridge that got damaged and had it back up and with traffic going across it within a week after the hurricane. The only thing that they're really slow about fixing around here after a hurricane I've noticed is like street signs, but other than that, they usually get everything else cleaned up and picked up pretty quickly. But signs usually take about 6 months, sometimes up to a year before you see them fix the signs. Because there's so many businesses that get damaged signs and stuff. Those sign companies, man, they get swamped during that time.
Loki's laying on the side down here, just knocked out. That's good. Yeah, I think that thing is really working. I think it's doing something to him, at least calming him down.
Calm them down. Yep.
That's all that counts. I'll pay $20 a month to have those things to keep him calm. But I'm not
Well,
going to give it to the
I
others.
would do some research too and see if you have to like change the milligram, like the amount that's in the chews and
Yeah.
all that, and see what like best it is. Like if you have to up it a little bit every like 4 or 5 months or something like that, just kind of see what you have to do on that. Because I'm not sure. I've heard so many people say that they've been using it for their dogs and it works really well. And I used it for Bo because at nighttime he was getting really hyper and he'd be running
Right.
around the house barking for no reason. And it's not like he had to go to the bathroom or anything. He would just be running around hyper as shit. And so at nighttime, we started running him around 6 o'clock. We'll bring him outside with Tyson, and Tyson will run him out in the yard. Tyson will run back and forth, and Bo will chase him, and we'll get him really tired, and we would give him one of those chews. And then he'd be knocked out within a couple hours. He'd be ready to go to bed. He wasn't so hyper. So it worked really good for the month I used them on him.
Yeah, it
Just
says
for
says
hyperness.
two daily. It says for canine use only, not for human ingestion. Keep away from children. They smell it, they're not going to eat it anyway.
Right.
That's nasty smelling stuff, isn't it?
Oh, it does say refrigerator after opening, so I got to get it in the refrigerator. And it says cool, dry place. But
Yeah,
he gets two a day. So I'll go stick it in the refrigerator. I mean, and if you don't see that, it ought to be in the front somewhere. It's a little bit that big. I mean, I barely saw it. If I wouldn't have read that one little section, I
they
wouldn't
should
have
be
seen
all
it.
right being out as long as they have to just pop them in there now.
Yeah, and it's been comfortable up here. It isn't hot. It doesn't say refrigerator after opening anywhere else. It ought to be on the top of this bitch. All breeds, all ages. It's calming chews, stress and anxiety, lower stress levels, supports balanced behavior, relieves fear and aggression. It's got hemp oil, organic extract, chamomile extract, and some kind of root, valor or something root.
Where's it made from? Is it made in the US? Does it say on there?
I'm looking. Distributed from all these letters like this big, you know. Distributed for somebody manufactured in the USA.
Okay, good. Cause you don't want to get any
Yeah.
shit from China. So,
Yeah, that's stuff I've heard about that.
yeah, any dog treats or anything like that, and make sure they're manufactured in the US.
Let me go put it in the refrigerator now before I forget.
There's been a lot of issues with dog food and dog treats that have come from China. So you getting any ships today, Paul?
I got one this morning.
Oh, cool.
It was a tanker.
What's up, Jody? How's it going, man?
Jody.
Jody, the CIA officer, the spy,
Yeah,
three different accounts, three different names.
you know
What's up,
that.
Dusty?
Frank Rizzo.
Yeah, he's got drone shots, Frank Rizzo. I think he has one other one. Well, the problem is too, Dusty, is technically, unless there are gummies made for dogs, I wouldn't give dogs gummies because there's actually gummy bears and gummies in general are not good for dogs. There's a particular chemical in them that are really bad for them, unless they were specifically made for animals.
I ate a whole bag of gummies the last couple of days, those Sour Patch Kid gummies. And the second day, my stomach hurt.
Huh, wonder why.
Yeah, I
Well,
wonder
me and
why.
Sarah have been munching down on that big ass bag of gummies we got the other day. Oh, those things are so good.
Sarah likes the gummies too.
Yeah, like I said, they taste just like the ones that Kitchi sent us from Michigan, and they're really good. They taste almost identical. They're made by a smaller company, and they just, I don't know, they have a lot of flavor and they're very soft, so they don't hurt your teeth. Like the Habro brand, like the name brand of gummy bears, they're good and they got good flavor, but usually they're very hard. And yeah, after about half a bag, your jaw will be hurting.
Well, that's like people that like to eat the hard nuts. You know, I don't know how they do it because
Yeah, Dusty, do some research on that, bro. Like, yeah, gummies are really bad for dogs, dude. Trust me, look it up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give them to your dog anymore. But like I said, look it up. It'll tell you what chemicals are in them, and that's why they're not good for them. It
You got to
blocks
be
up
careful
their.
what you give a dog.
I think it does something too, where like it blocks up their intestines too. So, Sarah researched it not too long ago because we had those other gummies and she was going to let Tyson try one, and I said no, no, no. And Sarah did some research and found that they're actually really bad for dogs.
On
yeah,
the
I'm
day we
hanging
had a
in.
birthday,
I'm hanging in, Perry. I didn't see your comment back.
the day we had the birthday party for Lily a couple of weeks ago, David was changing her diaper, and he said, "Brittany, come see this." And Brittany went over there and she goes, "Oh my God, when they changed the diaper, she had a poop diaper, right? In the poop was a piece of balloon
Oh,
where it
geez.
had blown
Oh,
a
swallowed a
balloons,
balloon.
and one of she must have chewed one and swallowed it, and she passed it, but it was a piece of balloon in the poop, you know. I said, well, I'm glad she passed it, you know. I said, how in the hell she had a balloon? You know? She's got like 4 teeth, so she probably chewed a piece, you know. Yeah, she's walking, and now it's the end of our life. You know, now she can get wherever she wants to go. She is a handful. She was standing by the television, and I said, Lily. She turned around, looked at me, and went, "What?"
Uh, okay, so many candies, including gummy bears, are now available in sugar-free formulas. These formulas may contain the artificial sweetener xylitol. It's Xylitol. I don't know how to pronounce it, which is highly toxic to dogs, even more toxic than chocolate.
Yeah,
That particular chemical only needs to be eaten in small quantities to be dangerous. If the quantity is large enough, it can be fatal to dogs. And most gummies now are coming sugar-free. Like if you
yeah,
actually
most
read the
of them.
packages on them, a lot of them are because they have the artificial stuff in them. And it also can cause extremely upset stomach and intestinal issues, is what this article from this National Veterinarian article thing. So, well, you just gotta look if it's a sugar-free one, but it says it's still not good for them, even regular gummies, because it can upset their stomach. So,
Hey, here's the two different things that I got allergy relief immune chews.
Yeah,
made in the U.S. Look at the little flag on it. Yep, that's
And then here's these. And they smell horrendous as well. You open it up and it's like, oh my God.
makes you gag. Makes you gag. Huh?
And here's what they look like. Little brown.
that's kind of like the ones that Joe had, a little smaller than that, though.
Yeah, yeah. The ones I have are like a little heart, and it's
And
they're dark.
here's
Wow.
this one. Itchy
Just
skin
Yeah.
relief, it's called.
Will she eat them?
I'm gonna try right now.
oh, you just got this?
Well, I got it a while ago, but I haven't used it. Let me see how many. I wonder how many she's supposed to get.
Probably one or two. Some of that stuff goes by weight, and then some of it
I think it
shits.
was total of 3 a day for her. I thought we read.
This is 4 a day here. Here you go, boo.
Well, some of those go by either weight or that it's just a general amount you give them every day, no matter the
Yeah,
size.
it's weight on it. It's let's say 81 pounds over 4 soft chews.
Yeah, keep your dog healthy, Dusty. That's a beautiful dog you got, man.
Yeah, I'd give her like I'd break it up in time. I wouldn't do it all at once.
Well, I give her 4 now, and then what I'll do is I'll start get on a regimen. 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, in the evening. She's eating them.
That's good then. Just give her 2 right now. Give her 2 later, just in case it upsets her stomach.
It's
Yeah,
Dusty's dog, man. He's got a beautiful dog, man. I saw him the other day when he was doing his
what's he
live
got?
stream. German Shepherd.
Oh yeah.
They're the beauty too. I love German Shepherds.
Yeah,
I think-
Lynn misses her shepherd, the one that she just lost here not too
Dude,
long.
shepherds are just so loyal and smart, man. They're like the dolphins of dogs, man.
Yeah.
Their intelligence
Shepherds
level
are
is just
wonderful.
yeah, their intelligence level is just on a whole nother level than most dogs.
Well, I think it's the breed. You not only have the German Shepherd, but you got like the Australian Shepherd. That's another smart dog.
And then you have the Belgian Malamar. That's the other one that a lot of
Yeah.
cops and the military uses
Yeah.
those as well.
Well,
That's what cops are
I
using now.
had a Doberman at one time too that I really liked.
You know, a lot of people will say, "Oh, why doesn't the cops use like Rottweilers and pit bulls and stuff?" I'm like, what people, a big misconception is actually German Shepherds and Belgian Malamars actually have a stronger bite per pound per, what is it, square inch or
It's per
whatever,
square inch.
however they mention. Yeah, they actually have a way stronger bite than a pit bull.
Well,
or
I know that
Rottweiler
too.
do.
Some departments prefer like Dobermans because most of their bodies are a lot leaner and they can sneak into different areas, you know?
But yeah, it's the
German
two you see-
Shepherds, I would say, probably are the most popular.
well, the
Well, I
two
tell
that
you
you
one
see the
thing.
most of is German Shepherds and Belgian Malamars. Those are the two
Yeah.
you see the most of.
Yeah, I tell you one thing. I don't want to be bit by any of them.
Yeah, oh yeah, you'll see the most biggest, baddest, hardcore looking criminals run like a little girl when that dog come out.
Like I said, we used to train them. Like I said, we used to train them, and we train them all of initial commands the police department wanted up until the right at the attack mode. And that's what we did when I was growing up, when we were raising them, when we were breeding them. And I had to go out there with the suit on, because I was the youngest guy. They said, "Come on, you can do it." So I'm brave. So I get out there, and every once in a while, one of them would nick my hand, where he'd have the wrist, and it'd be on my hand too. But the hand had padding, so it wouldn't break the skin. But boy, you talking about hurt.
You would still feel
You know?
that though.
Yeah, he's still
Talking
biting
about
down
the,
on me. You
you
know?
was talking about the dog bite arm thing that you wear for
Yeah.
training.
And if
Oh, yeah.
he got an inch over and caught me on the wrist, I was like, "Get off of me, get off of me." You know? I'd be hollering the commands to stop him.
Oh,
You
dude,
know,
Saint
like,
Bernard's
every once in a while, one
fucking
would grab me.
huge, Jody. My friend had a Saint Bernard and had a 4-foot, one of the 4-foot wire fencings around his pen. This dog would come up and set his head on top of the fence without actually like jumping up or anything. That's how big that fucking dog was.
Well, what are the biggest dogs? The Great Danes or?
No,
They
Saint
got another-
Bernards, Bull Mastiffs.
Yeah, the masters are the biggest.
And then there's this one that I think comes out of Russia, and it kind of looks like a chow,
Like a bear.
but it's really fucking huge. I can't remember the name of it, but they're big as hell. Farmers in Russia, I think I think it's out of Russia. But
I
they
think I
look like
told
a
y'all
chow.
about. Yeah, it's big though. Like the head's about this big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I told y'all about Goliath. One of them we kept. That he came out. He was twice the size when he was born of everybody else. And we looked at this dog, and it was a male. And my cousin said, "We'll have to keep him like that." So we kept him and raised him. He lived for 14 years. And this was when I was like 19, 20 years old. And he'd come over to the fence next to me, put his paws on the fence, and I'm 5'7", and his head was higher than me. It would be up here, and his head was this big. And he weighed in at 165 pounds as a German Shepherd.
Wow.
That was
That's
the
a big
biggest
German
German Shepherd I've
Shepherd.
ever seen in my freaking life.
Yeah, that's a
And
big German
he
Shepherd.
was with us, he was the friendliest dog. He loved us. You go lay in the yard, he'd roll on you. You know, you get him off, get off, you're heavy, you know, like this. And we play with him, we roll around with him. He was perfectly fine. You bring him to the vet. As soon as he got to the vet, he went to dead weight. You had to carry him in, you had to muzzle him. If you came over and you came in the yard with me, everything's fine. If I'm in the yard, or even if I'm not in the yard and you walk over to the fence, he'll come up to the fence, pet him. You pet him all you want. But guess what? You can't get your hand back. That's how he was. He let you pet him, even if he knew you, if he was not the family. You pet him. If you start to bring your hand back, he bites you.
Okay, all right.
That's how he was. It was
Yeah,
just, he
because
was
an
that
average German Shepherd
defensive.
is what, like 70, 80 pounds? The average one?
The average, somewhere right around 100, 85 to 100, you can get them. And the biggest ones you usually get in 120s, 130s max. And these are the ones that when they get a little older, they get a little more weight on them. But he was like 2.5 years old, 160 pounds. Then he went to 165, which is max. He was just
Fucking-
huge. Oh, he was freaking. We were wondering how in the hell did this happen? You know, my cousin used to joke around and say he probably ate one of them in the womb, and that's how he doubled his size. And then we
That's
had
nice, Joey.
then we had the other one. The one I kept out of that litter was Venus. She was the runt. She was the smallest, and she was about 1/3, 2/3 the size. So we had one completely huge and one completely small. Mine weighed in at full when I think she was 60, maybe 60 pounds full. She was smaller. And then she
Now,
weighed in at
Dusty,
60 pounds.
yours. Okay, I was going to ask if it was a boy or a girl, but it's a boy. Okay. Name's Nico. 98 pounds. He's 2 years old. He's 2 years old.
Yep. He might get another 10 pounds max. But
I
I
was going to
mean,
ask you, Dusty, because I forgot to when I can't remember when you were on the other day. Does your dog have the push down hips that are like rounded off, or does he have the hips that he should have, the straight ones? Because you know that fucking mixed breeding with the German Shepherds, they got that kind of rounded off ass end now. And those are the ones that get bad dysplasia and shit. They kind of have the rounded ass end on them. Let me see here.
but,
Let me look up a
but that
picture.
was fun times with the Shepherds. We had a lot of fun with them, raising them and giving them the initial training and stuff. We had one of them that was totally one of the females we bred, totally white, all white. And none of her puppies came out white. None of them. We were
See,
trying to breed white ones, couldn't do it.
See, you have the ones now, a lot of German Shepherds now have, you see how his ass is kind of rounded off right here? Kind of goes
Yeah.
down more. Well, the older German Shepherds used to have more of a square type back end. But the ones that have that type of back, usually they get bad dysplasia when they get older. And that's from years of like that right there. That's from all the different breeding that they've done on them.
Yeah. Those teeth. God, oh.
God, those such beautiful dogs though, man. And they're like the
Yeah,
cutest fucking puppies, man. German Shepherds.
if I wouldn't have little dogs and I had a house and little land, I'd have me Shepherds. Have me at least one.
Oh, he got his nuts clipped off yesterday, Dusty? Is that why he's all drugged up? Yeah,
I told
Dusty,
Nick,
you should do some shorts of a dog, man. The animal shorts do really well. You want to get some views? Do some of your
and
dog and some stuff.
Nick took my daughter's Australian Shepherd, and the problem he has is because there's just the two of them. Every time they go somewhere, they got to board the dog or they got to find somebody to watch the dog and all that. And I said, well, if everything works out for me and I get a piece of land, I'll make sure I've got a fenced in area that's made, and then bring her back, and then she can stay with me. Then I'll have Luna with Australian Shepherd, and I'll make sure she's got an outside place where she can stay in and make sure she got a place that she can go in and get out of the rain and everything else. And she could be what she's supposed to be out in the yard and have all the yard to run in all the time.
Dusty, that doesn't surprise me at all that he figured out how to open doors. That really does not surprise me. Those dogs can just watch you and figure out how to do shit. I mean, they see you open a door enough times and they'll figure it out.
Loki. Loki.
Nothing surprises me with German Shepherds. Their
Loki.
intelligence that they have.
Loki. Yeah, that stuff's got to be doing something to him because he's laying down there and I'm saying his name And usually when I say his name, you'll see the ears twitch. And his ears weren't twitching. He was knocked out. When I touched him, he turned around and looked at me. But he's chill.
in every animal part, or I would say in every group of animals, there's like one or two that really stand out for intelligence. Like birds would be like magpies and crows, extremely intelligent birds. You know, dogs, you got German Shepherds, Belgian Malamars. You know, as far as the ocean, you got dolphins, and some of the whales are extremely smart. There's that real famous video of that magpie, and he's trying to get some food out of a water bottle. And
I don't even look the same.
you actually look older in that picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had a bottle of water, and there was a treat down there, and to get it out, he just kept filling the bottle with more water until the treat floated up to the top so he could get it.
So that's him. Well,
Okay, so you had to get him fixed in order to board him in a boarding house so you could go on a cruise. Okay, in April. Yeah, they require them to be fixed and have their shots and all. Oh yeah, labs are really smart dogs too. I would say as far as like labs and like hound dogs and stuff, they make really good for search and rescue dogs. I wouldn't use a lab as a canine, but for search and rescue, oh yeah.
that's him right now laying by my feet, knocked out. So it must be working. And then last night when I got up, he's laying on the floor and he's laying on my shoes. That's what he does. He gets up and he lays on my shoes at night. I guess it's like an anxiety thing where he feels like he's close to me.
Well, like I said, if that's what you notice has been triggering it, if it can bring that down some, calm him
Yeah.
down a little bit, that should help with the seizures.
Oh, yeah.
He's calm right now. He's even breathing different. He's slow. He's just relaxed. I'll say something to him. He'll turn around and look at me, but he's fine.
Yeah, he's just
Loki.
chilling out.
Logie.
It doesn't necessarily get him high. It just kind of relaxes
That's
him.
Loki on drugs. Loki, you on drugs?
Because it's
He's-
a
boy, he's
non-THC
chilling.
version.
You on drugs? You a druggie?
Because you can, here in Florida, even though it's not recreational, you can buy CBD and hemp oil products in every gas station, vape shop. They all sell them because it's a non-THC. Doesn't have any THC in it. So that you
I
can
reached
buy off
down
the
and-
shelf.
I reached down and I started petting him under his arm. He goes, puts it down. Yeah, he's chilling. He
That's
said,
good
I'd
though.
go get me some water right now in my dish, but then I got high.
Then I got high.
Then I got high. I think I'm gonna go to use the paper, but then I got high. I gotta go eat some food, but then I got high. I'm gonna send that to my daughter. I'm gonna put all that. I'm gonna go and get me some water. Then I got high.
You need to use
gotta send
that music AI app that Corey was using. You can have it write you an actual song with Nico's name in it. Or I mean with
Yeah,
with
Logan.
your dog's name in it.
That's funny. I might do that.
I was thinking
I
Dusty's
need to
dog's
find out
name.
if I could clip that song. See if they got it on YouTube. Yeah, I'm gonna see if they got the on YouTube the that song, because I could use the music then, and I might do a little short.
Oh, it's on there. You can find
Yeah,
it.
that'd be funny.
Yeah, you just do a picture of him or do like a 30-second video, just different clips of him laying around.
No, I'll
You
take,
put
I'll,
that
all I'll
song
do is
over it.
I'll take a little short video of him barely moving around like that. Then I got high. That
Oh,
might go viral.
who sung that song? Can't think of his damn name. Hold on.
It's not Bob Marley, right?
No, 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 no.
Uh, uh,
That would have been Afro Man sung that.
yeah,
But yeah, they got it on YouTube.
yeah, I
There's a
figured
bunch
they
of
did.
channels have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that.
Yeah, because he actually just got busted by the cops not too long ago. His house got raided. And he's suing the police department where he lives at because they
Take
came in
the,
and like destroyed his whole house.
I'm gonna get him on the sofa like that when he's kicking back. I'm gonna put the little thing of hemp next to him, and then I'll take it like that. I was getting ready to go get some water out my dish. Then I got high. You know.
Oh, so Dusty said he wanted to name Nico Loki because Nico's dad's name was Zeus and his brother was Thor.
He should have. That would have worked. Yeah, I would have done it. That would have been Loki.
I don't know. Nico just seems to fit a German Shepherd. Nico.
You okay? You a high man. You a high. Tell you high.
That's why I named Tyson because he's just.
Give me that tea.
It was like one of those ironic names because he's so small, but he's just, he's got a little man complex, tries to act all tough. So I call him Tyson.
See, if I set the camera up right, he's laying there, right? And I kind of scratched him by his tail. I said,
Tyson,
give me that tail.
Tyson, come here, buddy.
I said, give me
Come
that
here,
tail.
bud.
And he goes this. Picks up the thing and looks at me and goes, and lays back down. That would have been perfect. It would have been like, I'm getting ready to go get some water out my dish, but then I got high.
Yeah, that's my little buddy right there.
Tyson. You look at me giving you some licking.
He is such a good dog.
You know why they lick you like that, right?
Uh,
When they start licking you like that, it's a calming effect to them.
oh, he is the biggest baby. Sarah told me yesterday, she goes, you baby him so much.
Yep. Gotta baby them. Sometimes they deserve it.
Oh, he's been such a good dog since I got him.
That's your best man friend, huh?
You can tell he loves
Yeah.
you.
Oh yeah, this is my little best friend. He goes everywhere with me. Usually when I'm sitting at the computer, he either wants to sit in my lap. He's usually sitting in my lap. You guys just don't see him. He crawls up in my chair and he lays across my legs, goes to sleep. Or he's usually down by the floor sitting next to me.
That's like Loki. Loki's always right down here by my feet. And this has been about 6 months now. He'll come down and just get right by my feet. He's always
Like I
on the
said,
side, but now he's under me.
like I said, I never was a fan of small dogs. I really didn't like
Well,
small dogs
that's it.
because
I get it.
I've met so many small dogs in my day that were just assholes more than big dogs. And so I didn't like
Yeah.
him, but he's just been coolest dog ever. Ever since that day he jumped up in the truck with me.
Well, that was your lucky day.
Yeah, it was.
Both your lucky days.
Like I say, he's a big baby too. And I could tell he was a puppy when I got him too, because he hadn't been fixed. He didn't have any chip in him. And the amount of energy he
Watch
has.
out. I gotta
And
get. Watch out.
we've looked at pictures of him
Move, please.
since we got him, like we did Bo,
Whoa.
to now over the last year, and you can kind of see that he's grown a little bit in his face. So he was probably maybe at most a year old when I found him. But yeah, he wasn't fixed or anything, so
And you've
And-
had him how long? Couple years?
a little over a year now.
Okay, so he's only 2.5, 3.
I don't even think I think he's about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, if that, at the most. Cause I think he was between 6 months to a year when I found him. I'm just surprised nobody else grabbed him, dude. He was there for 2 days running around that gas station and nobody picked him up. Like, and then when I saw him, I just opened the door and I was like, come on, man. He jumped right up in my lap, put his hands up on the steering wheel. He's like, where are we going?
Yeah,
I took him straight
I'm
home
getting,
and threw him in the house with Bo, and Bo kept him company all day, and he's been with us ever since.
I'm getting comments on my videos from somebody got to be out of Australia. It's Luno Park, LUNOPARK, and it says
Dusty,
beautiful flight, mate.
Dusty says, but my wife has authority over everything I do, so I don't want to get clipped, so I do what I'm told.
Well, it's a smart man.
That's what I was about to say. Smart man.
Oh yeah, he's a great looking dog, Lance. Dude, yeah. If I was single, he'd be a hell of a wingman, I'll tell you what.
Well, I would imagine no matter where you take him, all the gals come up and ooh ah him, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess if I was single, he'd be one hell of a wingman. He'd be easy to pick up girls with him. Cause he is just the cutest little thing.
Yeah, that was like Tina when I just had Tina and we used to go out to the lakefront all the time. All the girls out there walking, doing their exercise and their little midriffs and all that would come up and pet them and talk to them. You know,
Like
and come up and ask me, what kind of dog is it?
Sarah tries to get mad at him, but then he looks up at her and he's got this little underbite, so those little lips sits like that. And she'll try to get mad at him and he'll look up at her with these like little sad eyes and his little underbite and she gives in every fucking time.
Tina on his looking at me on the left side, he's got a snaggle tooth that sticks out. One little tooth. And
Oh,
I
he
told
does
him, I
that
said,
every time. He'll put his lip up
Yeah.
sometimes and it'll look like that.
yeah, but this tooth sticks there, it comes out. So when he's looking at you, he's got one tooth that sticks out. It's just,
Right.
he was chewing on something and it just made it go that way. And it's perfectly fine, nothing wrong. The vet laughs about it. I said, yeah, I said, I know whenever he comes up and he starts licking me, I feel the tooth, I know it's him. You know, it's like, I know him in the dark, you know? I said, if I was blind, I'd know it was him because of his tooth.
And like Tyson, the only thing that Sarah gets annoyed about is at nighttime, he has to be snuggled up against me. So,
Yeah.
and if I try to snuggle Sarah, he tries to get in between us and she gets all pissed off. She's like, get out of here. Cause he'll come stand on top of us and he'll look down at both of us like that. He'll be
Like,
like, I
move
want
over.
some. Yeah.
I want some of that loving.
But he's
He needs some
usually
love.
always laying in my arm when he sleeps. He's snuggled in my arm.
That's funny. But that's a good sign. It's been 24 hours since he's had a seizure.
Yeah, so it's working.
Yeah,
Maybe,
Jonathan,
you know, I'm hoping.
Jonathan, you get yourself a small dog that's super cute, bro. Yeah, you pick up girls all day long with the dog. They'll be like,
I'll tell
oh,
you the dog to get. The dog to get is a God darn it, Yorkshire Terrier. A little Yorkie. That's the one you want. Either that or a Maltese. A Maltese or a Yorkie. And you'll pick up all the women you want. You know?
Jonathan, that explains why I'm single. I got cats.
I'll tell you how I know it's factual. Because we had a girl that was on the dance team for Southeastern that lived here in the complex. And I was out there working on a call one day and she come walking by and she was walking her dog. And I looked over at her and I said, let me ask you a question. You on Southeastern's dance team? She goes, yeah. I said, yeah, I saw you out there. I take pictures. She goes, oh, okay. And walks off, right? That was the conversation. So a couple more times, said hello to her. She kind of motioned at me, didn't say nothing, kept going. I got Tina. I'm out there with Tina one day. She comes walking up, sees the dog, completely stops what she's doing, talked to me for 30 minutes. Had nothing to do with me. It was all about the dog. I
Yeah,
said,
but
shoot,
if
if I'd
she
have known
wants
that,
to
I'd have
hang
had him
out
6
with the
months earlier.
dog, yeah, but she wants to hang out with the dog more, then she's got to come back to your apartment with you.
Yeah, but she had two big dogs, you know, and she stopped and talked Every time she saw me out with the dog, she talked to me. She'd see me out without the dog, she wouldn't talk to me. So it was all Tina. All Tina.
Then you tell her, "Oh, Tina's been missing you." Every time she
Yeah.
sees you,
Tina
she
said,
goes
come
nuts.
over.
Yeah.
And Tina said he wants to see you. Come over to the house. Yeah, she'd walk around here with her little cut off yoga shorts like. And Lord, Justin one time was getting out of the car and she was walking by and he said, who in the hell is she? Where'd she come from? I said, yeah, she's been here a while. I haven't seen her in a while. I think she moved.
Get you depends on what kind of girl you want to attract. I like big dogs.
Get she?
Yeah, but you see Tyson, man,
He get you.
and doing his little wagon. Oh yeah, his little cute face. When I brought him home, Sarah was like, "Oh my God, he's adorable." And she was all over him the first couple days I brought him home.
Now, if you would ask Tim that question, depends on what kind of girl you want to attract. He said, what's the difference? Or he'd say, he said, boys or girls?
Boys or girls.
Boys or girls?
You
Does it
said
attract both? Does it
Tim, Tim, Tim,
attract
Tim,
both?
Tim. She said, now Tyson is so cute. Yeah, he is.
I'm glad you didn't hear me with that voice just now because I didn't want you to clip
I can go back.
it. Let me go delete that quick.
See,
And
it's
Laura was on
easy
there
if
with
it's
her
your
that
own
clip.
live stream, but if you say something on somebody else's, you're
Yeah.
screwed.
Yeah. Now, if Laura was on, she'd have clipped it already. Oh,
Not Tyson,
years
man.
ago.
Tyson's a very quiet dog. He doesn't bark unnecessarily. Now he barks if I try to spank Sarah. He don't like that. He gets super mad if I try to pick on his mommy.
Years ago, when I was stationed here in the Marine Corps and married the first wife, one of her brothers that I had, she had like 13 siblings.
What's up, Andrew?
One of the brothers came in. He was in the Air Force, and just his demeanor, I looked over at her and I said, "Okay, is he real happy?" And she said, "Yeah, he is." Like that. I said, "Okay, I kind of figured." He was in on leave, and a couple of days later, I was in the French Quarter picking up some colonels at one of the hotels down there in the French Quarter to take them to their plane and everything they had to do. And this was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm pulling up to the hotel to wait to get in there and let them know I'm outside and to pull in to get them. And I seen these two guys arm in arm, loving each other to death and sashaying down the street, all hips going all kind of ways and everything. And the guy turned around and looked my way, and that was her brother and another guy. And I went, "Oh Lord, help me!" And I got on the phone and I said, "I just saw your brother."
Jonathan Laura was in here at the beginning of the show in the chat, but I don't know where they're at the moment. If they're not in here, they're probably busy doing something. Because usually David pops in on the morning shows. So,
They're probably lurking.
I know Laura was in here earlier because she told me to shut up. Pretty sure she was,
Yes,
if I
she
remember
did.
correctly. Yeah,
That's normal. Hey, Andrew,
yeah, because the last thing she
Jonathan,
said was Paul Murray, you're
Laura.
talking too much.
I already said hello to Gitchy. AI
Hey,
Gitchy,
Gitchy. Yep.
East Coast
He doesn't
Thrills.
bark at the doorbell, Andrew. Like I said, Tyson does not bark unnecessarily. The only time he barks usually is when he's outside and the neighbor dog comes. But he rarely barks, to be honest, when he's in the house. He's actually a pretty quiet dog. He barks when I'm playing with him. Because I'll actually be laying on the bed and he'll come up and he'll grab my hand and he'll go like that and he'll grab my fingers with his mouth and he'll pull on my hand because he wants to play. And then he'll bark at me when I'm playing with him because I'll get under the blanket and I'll go like that and he'll jump on top of me and he'll be barking at me. But nah, he's a good dog.
Your dog on drugs.
Now, Sarah's mom's dog, dude, he fucking yelps and whines and barks unnecessarily all the fucking time. She's got a little chihuahua on that ugly little fucker. Mean too. You don't like anybody. Him and his little beady eyes going two different directions. Her dog doesn't like guys, so every guy that comes in the house, he barks at him and tries to bite their feet.
Another Lily Valentine.
And it's only out of respect I haven't punted that dog across the fucking house. Those little dogs don't scare me when they're aggressive, but you come up and bite me, I'm liable to punch your ass across the yard. I ain't gonna put it up with it from a big dog. I ain't gonna put up with it from a little dog. Well, see, Tyson's part Chihuahua. He's Chiweenie, so he's a Chihuahua and wiener dog mix.
Chewini.
But he has a little bit of the look of the Chihuahua, but he doesn't have that. To me, regular Chihuahuas are ugly dogs. So just my opinion. Because usually they got that little face and their little beady eyes, and they'll go two different directions. And they look cross-eyed and everything else. I just say I don't like those dogs. And a lot of Chihuahuas are mean as hell too.
That's why they call them ankle biters.
I've met more Chihuahua. I don't think I've ever met a nice Chihuahua, to be honest with you. They're very aggressive. Even to their
You
own
saw
owners,
mine?
they are.
You saw Cleo? She's nice.
Is Cleo Chihuahua?
Pomeranian Chihuahua.
Yeah, but that's
I
what
think
I'm
it's-
saying. She's mixed. I'm talking about full-blooded Chihuahuas, though.
Yeah, I think
I
the
don't-
Pomeranian calms her down a little bit.
To me,
But
full-blooded Chihuahuas are ugly dogs. That's just my
But
opinion.
it took some work because, like I said, I've manhandled them, and I've always done that with dogs. The key is, look, if you want to have a dog that will never be aggressive, you got to manhandle them a little bit and let them know you're the boss, basically. And with all of them, I've always manhandled them. I could grab them and roll them around. They're not going to do anything. But when we first got her, she was fine. But I'd lay her down and I'd get close to her and I'd give her a kiss and then I'd blow on her. When I started to blow on her, she showed me teeth. She didn't like that. And I said, you need to stop showing me teeth. And she showed me her teeth again. So this went on and went on. And she snapped at me. So after about 3 months of doing that, now she don't do it anymore. She just accepts it. You know,
Tyson snapped at me once because I just tapped him on his ass because he was trying to get Sarah's food. And I
Yeah.
just tapped him on the ass and he turned around and growled at me. And I picked him up by his thing and I put my face to his face. I said, you bite me and I'm going to kick your ass. And I held him there like that. And I just looked directly in his eyes and he just went like that. And and ever since then, he hasn't tried to.
Well, that's Tino.
He
None
knows
of them
better.
really get a pop or anything. I never do that. Very seldom they'll get a pop on the tail if they do something really bad. And he walked up, picked up his leg and peed on my recliner, right? And I grabbed him. I said, "Give me that. That's it." And I slapped him on his butt. He turned around and growled at me when I slapped him on his butt. And I slapped him a second time. He growled a second time, and I grabbed him by the neck, slapped him a third time on the tail. And it wasn't hard, but it was just enough that it was different to him. And I said, "You see this?" I said, "And you growling at me?" And I hit him again. I said, "You stop growling at me." I said, "I'll put this hand dead on that crack of that ass every time you do that." You know?
Yeah.
And he calmed down after that. He never peed on it again.
Yeah,
I
I
said, "But you
don't.
don't
The
do that."
minute they show any aggression, I get right in their face and let them know I'm not afraid because they're, like I said, dogs, even though they're domesticated, they still have certain nature type
Wolf.
natural
I'll have
things
wolf
to
in 'em.
them. And they have a pack mentality. And if you don't show that you're
Yeah.
the leader of the pack, they'll walk all over you. So you gotta
You're
show
right.
that you're in charge. Like Tyson, when I had him in my face and I raised my voice to him, he cowered. And now if he's doing something wrong and I raise my voice, he'll put his head down and he'll immediately stop because he
Yeah.
knows better. I've never just wailed on my dogs, but I will let them know,
Yeah.
get stern with them and give them a good slap on the ass and let them know I'm not playing.
Well, if I raise my voice and I get in their face like that, they kind of cower a little bit. They know
You
something
should only
wrong.
have to do it a few times, like at most
Yeah.
a few times, and then eventually they'll learn and then you won't ever have to do it again.
You see, and Loki has this habit is if like yesterday, I woke up, walked in the kitchen, and the paper when I went to bed, the paper was clean, perfectly clean. I walked in the kitchen, the paper looked like a freaking minefield. I mean,
It's all
I
over the
don't know how
place.
those three dogs shit that much on the paper. They had 17 pieces of poop on the paper. I counted them. I said, where the hell is this come from? You must have held it all day like that. But if he comes in at the papers like that, he'll walk in. If he's got to go again, his other papers by the door, he can't get to it. He'll get right at the door of the kitchen and do it right there. And drop a couple of turds right there. And I'll say, come here. Walk over and I'll look at him. I say, sit. I say, you see this? And he'll just put his head down like, oh shit. What I do? I said, I don't care. You go find a spot on that paper, Because I tell you, that's the most shampooed part of my house, that hallway, one little section. Because at least once a week, if they fill it up overnight on me, he'll poop right there. And leave two of them sitting right there.
Yeah, I don't
That's
really
why I
have
tell
a
my
problem.
son, don't walk around here barefoot.
Rarely does Bo or Tyson wake up in the middle of the night and they might take a crap on the floor. But usually that's because everybody's sleeping and they don't. Bo will let you know if he has to go outside. Tyson won't. If he has to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, he'll just go. Bo will run around the house barking at everybody. So you'll wake up and you'll take him out. But he's pooped on the floor a couple of times, but not very often. It's very rare that he does it. Tyson's done
It
it a few
doesn't happen
times, but
often. It's like that's the other thing, Justin. That's why Justin woke me up last night. That's what it was. He woke up and he said, check your dog. He said, somebody pooped on the floor. I said, it had to be Logan. I walked up front and moved it. It was like, but it was like it had to have been him.
yeah, have you ever tried maybe putting a pad in that one specific spot where he poops?
Well, no, that's what I did. I can't put it there because it's in the middle of the hall. But he was doing it by the door going out to the patio, and I've got a pad over there, and that's basically where he goes. He goes over there more than he goes in the kitchen because that he knows that's the area he went before. So he uses that
okay.
pad, and I change it about every other day because he doesn't go enough to mess it up. When I see a couple of pieces of poop on it, I pick it up and throw those away. And then once he pees on it like 3 or 4 times, it holds everything, and it's got a tray it's on, so it doesn't sink through to the carpet. And that way,
Right.
when I can tell it looks like it's getting full of the pee, then I'll go ahead and change it out because it's on the other
those
side of the
pads
room.
are
It's
like
chalk. Yeah.
Well, them pads are like diapers anyway. Don't they have that gel shit
Yeah.
inside of them?
Yeah, it's charcoal activated, so it keeps the smell and everything else. I buy the ones from Arm & Hammer or Glad, either one. And I get them. They come in every 2 months. I get them for like 120 for like $19. Automatic on shipment for me. So as
Andrew,
long as
he's
I get
shown
them, I'll do it.
He's shown the dummy like through the building process, but I don't think he's finished it yet. But yeah, he's gonna show it once he
Yeah,
finishes.
he finished it. He did finish it, but he couldn't show it last night. Or
Yeah,
night
because
before.
I
What
went
was it,
back
last
and
night?
watched his. Yeah, I went back. No, it was Monday night. I went back and watched
Yeah,
his
Monday
live
night.
show last night. I skimmed through it, and he was gonna
Yeah,
show it, but
his camera
was
wasn't
fucked up.
working right. He was going to introduce it, but he couldn't do it because the camera wasn't working.
A lot of those guys like Lloyd and stuff, dude, they seem to have a lot of technical problems, but they seem to use a lot of programs just to stream.
Yeah.
And I'm like me, that's why I kind of wanted to go with EveMux after I saw what they had, because then you don't have to use OBS and all this other side programs. When you're using 2 or 3 programs just to do a live show on YouTube, you will tend to have more issues with audio and cameras, and because you got to make sure all those programs are lined up, and at any time one of those programs could crash or fail, and then it messes up your whole live stream. It's honestly
Yeah,
better to find a good streaming platform to use and just stick with that.
Yeah, I'm so glad none of my kids or granddaughter has OBS. They got tested.
Oh my God.
Well, you'd have to be giving them the little treats too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go with EveMux, because it's got some OBS features already built into it. And then I don't have to use a bunch of side programs while I'm streaming that I have to worry about. Like even when I live stream my gaming, all I'm using is Streamlabs. I don't use a bunch of other programs. Like it's just Streamlabs by itself. Because when I'm streaming my regular, like the story mode games, I don't have anybody on the panel anyway, so I don't need to use EveMux or anything.
Well, okay, guys, I think I'm gonna call it.
Yeah, I gotta leave here in about 20 minutes anyway. I gotta go take off and do
Yeah,
some stuff.
I'm gonna see what Johnny's doing today, if he wants to go flying today.
There you go. You said it's beautiful.
I got a feeling we're gonna fly Friday. That's what I think we're gonna wind up doing. Because I could
Okay.
actually do it tomorrow. We got a rehearsal dinner tomorrow night and a rehearsal tomorrow night, but that's tomorrow night. So
All right, I'll catch y'all. See y'all
Everybody in
later
the
this
chat,
evening.
thanks for being here. Justin,
happy
Joe,
Valentine's Day.
everybody,
And
happy
I think
Valentine's Day. to
Laura,
everyone.
and I think Laura or David might be going live this afternoon too, around
Yes.
2, I think.
Yeah, watch for Dave or Laura.
I
All
will
right,
see
I'll
y'all
catch y'all
later.
later.
Okay, everybody. Bye-bye for now. Bye, Getchy. Happy Valentine's Day. Take
Happy
care.
Valentine's Day,
Yep.
darling.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.